Here we're showing the fastboard in its standard configuration and also with the flotation ring affixed to it. This is the standard setup for the fastboard. If we're going to affix the flotation ring to it, we would remove several pieces of equipment. The multi-loop strap and the horizontal bridles and the haul bag with a haul line would all be taken off. Then we would take the flotation ring and set it in position around the board. Very quickly we could make our connection with the buckles, one at the bottom, in the middle, and at the top. And we want to make sure that we get our handholds pulled out. The one at the top is the only one you have to be careful of to run it underneath the webbing at the front of the board. Then we have Velcro straps that go into each handhold. The one in the middle, you want to make sure not to grab the external handhold. You can see that very quickly we would be able to affix this to the board and have a very secure flotation ring. You can also add the melted loop strap back to the board for another haul and affix it to the front of the board. In these evolutions, we're showing the ice rescue and water rescue capabilities of the fastboard with the new flotation ring attachment. Here the rescuer, laying on the ice, gets the victim to grab hold of the board as a reach device. We were to notice that the victim is not able to hold onto the board. We could quickly move into the water, grab a hold of the victim, grab the flotation handles, and you can see very quickly we can get pulled right up out of the ice, and then we use it as a platform to slide back to the shore. On this training evolution, the rescuer is coming in and he has the horse collar already attached to the extra large carabiner on the front webbing. Get the collar around them and velcroed, so we've captured them. Once we have that, move the board back in front of them. Tip the front end up and just allow it to move down in the water. When the haul team goes, it'll tighten up the webbing and help affix them to the board. And then again, just grab a hold of them and everybody will ride in together. This scenario will show the capability to rescue multiple victims using a cinch collar or a horse collar and the fastboard. Here the rescuer is getting in the ice water with a victim who's unconscious, rolling them onto the top of the board, and then getting a hold of the handles and compressing the victim to the board. And then again, the rescuer and the victim all ride up out of the ice together. On this scenario, we're going to show using the board in a more efficient way. We're going to keep the board really high out of the water and keep the victim low on the board, which increases the leverage and lowers that fulcrum and allows the board and the victim to get pulled out of the water a lot easier. What we don't want is the victim riding too high on the board. If the board gets pulled down too far into the water, that it has less of a leverage point, which will make it harder on the haul team. Again, it just jumps right out. If the victim's in open water and just has a hold of the board, the rescuers can reach over and grab the handles and just lift the board and get them up onto a Zodiac or onto a boat. On this next scenario, if they have the board tethered or if they're able to get a strap connected to the front of it, you'll see that the design of the board at the front just allows it to move right up onto the boat as the rescuers start hauling them in.